I know you.
What's up, what's up, what's up? Thanks. I'm gonna switch over to this. Bass. Monica. Monica Lewinsky. It's kind of weird for Clinton to refer to her that way, but fuck it, bro, it's your life. Alright, so first thing I'm going to be doing is kind of doing a quiz review, self-test review over all the lectures so far. Probably do like 5 questions per lecture, but I'm gonna have ChatGPT generate it. Free Maple. Can you see her back there? Oh, sorry. It's down on my headphones, so I'm not used to it. Also, it's so fucking stupid because it's like, this is like the base volume for it. It's fucked up. I need to get like a new mic stand and everything too whenever I get some spare money to save up. Bass. I'm not cool enough for a soundboard. I think I need, what was it? I know Arya was talking about being recommended it. The, streamboard or whatever. Yeah, I know she was talking about it. I don't think I would really care much to do like the hotkeys on my keyboard right now. It just sounds redundant. So I would probably want one of those, as well as a new mic stand, probably a new microphone. I don't know if I would do better with it. Not that I'm like, I don't know. I don't know the standard I should have for microphones. Or if I just fuck up the settings. She's not wearing a coat, okay? She's wearing a harness. Welcome, welcome. Name drop. But if I do have one, I would definitely have the... Well, I don't know if who's watching, and I don't know how familiar people are with this clip, because I brought it up to Arya one time, and I don't think she saw it before. I would have this soundbite on there.
I'd be crying if I look like that too, bro. That's fucked up what they be doing to y'all. I ain't even gonna hold you, bro. I be saying that's fucked up, like, bro, you probably had the full washing set. Your shit be fire probably if they ain't cut your shit. Fuck it though, bro. It's your life.
Fuck it though, bro. It's your life. Such a good clip. Love it. But I would have that, and I would have that clip of Stardust where she's raging at me, and she's like, "Who's this Gathererold? Fuck, what did she say? What's with the tape?" Yeah, I get into fights all the time, actually. I don't even have like a joke to go into that with, because I'm not interesting. I'm not cool enough to get into fights. I just have issues with breathing, so I have this instead. It would be kind of fucking sick though if I did get into a fight, but only because it's so uncharacteristic of me that like it makes it cooler. It's like when you see those like big buff dudes. Hold on, actually I had this. Was this on Instagram? Or was it on Facebook? How do I go to my activity on Facebook? I'm too Jewish to breathe better. I'm trying to conserve the air as much as I can. I don't want to waste any. God. Get it right, Monica. Pages, likes, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to completely forget whatever it was that I'm talking about anyways, so. Was it likes? I had to have liked it. Yes, yes. Okay, what I was saying is that it would be kind of cool if I would get into a fight, because it's unlike me. And I feel like when things happen that are uncharacteristic of somebody, that it kind of makes it cooler. And I feel like this is an example. Good one. Good one. Good one, OBS. Dipshit. Asshole. I was kind of just thinking like, wow, I really like it when my stream goes well. The connection isn't dropping. But what I really miss is whenever it would drop to 0 and people can't see shit. That's my all-time favorite. And, you know, it happened. So, you guys are welcome. There's no way this is the most popular. Shut the fuck up. Bitch. I think he lives in this van, but he lives with these dogs. I don't care about your story. I don't care. I don't care. Show me the dogs. Show me the pups. Show me the pups. Based. 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 Sick. Based. Okay. Yeah, I use Facebook for business, asshole. For my personal life, asshole. For posting my work, asshole. I'm just fucking with you, Monica. Don't worry about it.
Hmm. And then, Jane, you not finna work me like this. Right? You is not finna work me like this. Hmm. Hmm. Just take it.
Okay, my point is, it just kind of makes things cooler when things are uncharacteristic of somebody. I think that's probably why you see why people generally think it's more attractive whenever men can regulate their feelings or express their feelings or whatever else. Not being like a full-on like babbling crybaby, but being articulate or being like emotionally intelligent. I think that's generally more attractive to people because it's so uncommon with men. I think um, where you're subverting people's expectations. Even if the standards are like fairly low for what those expectations are, I think any subversion of that is just like, wow, that's impressive. Um, it's also why. So I have this reel saved. I don't know if you were in the call the other night, or I think this was a few weeks ago actually. Um, it was like between what men find attractive versus what women find attractive. Which obviously this is hyperbole. It probably doesn't represent all of women and blah blah blah, all those caveats, but okay. Because it's so uncharacteristic of, and it doesn't have to be like real racism or whatever that they're talking about in this. It's just the idea of the kind of like edgy humor, I guess. um I think having that for like women kind of makes people feel more maybe it's like attracted, or it seems more appealing because you don't expect them to do that. And I don't know, it's like the meme of like women liking video games and how they basically have like a male harem. I don't know how to pronounce it. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm a retard, okay? Fuck. Alright, so this looks like shit as a heads up. I'm trying to figure out new camera angles because I think this is visually interesting, but I think it's also busy at the moment. Um, and I'm not even for sure if I'll be staying here for too long. Um, but I think it's like an interesting perspective that you don't see a lot. However, again, I think it might be too busy, so I don't. It's kind of ugly back here right now. I'm cleaning stuff, but I was going to potentially. I don't know if this looks better. But I also don't want it to be like this. But I think it also gives more of an opportunity to actually have like a nice flat kind of like coloring behind me, maybe with some like soundproofing panels, I guess. Could be like nice decor. And I don't think the bisexual coloring in the background is going to be like a permanent thing either. It's just for now to throw in extra color stuff. It's a closet and it's stuffed with PC cases. And there's a like a staircase right there. where you would go down the actual door. But I don't know. I feel like because I don't want, I have a climbing thing where I would like train, quote unquote, my grip and stuff from for whenever I was doing like indoor like bouldering, I guess is what you'd call it. Um, but that kind of looks ugly. I would probably get rid of this thing out of the frame. I would probably put more stuff up here, but I'm kind of going through a bunch of stuff right now and just keeping shit there. And I would probably change the bulb in that, but I don't know. I don't know. Because I have a lot of the warm light currently bouncing off of the wall in front of me, reflecting onto me, so that's already pretty warm there. The background is cool, and then you have more warm lighting behind me, which kind of interferes, I think, with the perspective a little bit. The Winnie the Pooh Squishmallow was fuck. I don't remember if it was from my girlfriend or like what it was specifically. Um, and then the Witch Squishmallow, I liked it because it looked, I think at the time that I got it, it looked like my girlfriend. I thought it was super cute. And there is like some shit on there that I plan on hanging up. I just I had all of this stuff super unorganized, and it just was cluttered and looked even more like shit, so I temporarily just put stuff up. Um yeah, there's some more stuff I want to hang. Yeah, that one's Winnie the Pooh. It almost looked like I was doing like a Hitler salute. That one, that one's Winnie the Pooh. Um, and then you have a sick ass Catman right there. Then you have Audrey 2. I think that's Audrey 2 from Little Shop of Horrors. Some books and random record shit. And this is I love this little frog guy. Hold on. He's one of my favorites. He's in a little frog band. There's this one that I need to get this soon because I really want to have this displayed somewhere. Um, I really like taxidermy stuff, like the weird looking gross ones. And I have a chickapede that I had gotten in Ohio. Um, honestly, if you asked me to point out the difference, I wouldn't be able to. So, um, where is it? This. I got this, and then my cats knocked it off and broke it in half, so I had to glue it. And then something happened, and then I have to re-glue it. But this is what I got. And yeah, he's weird. But he's chill like that, okay? He can be weird. He's one of a kind. I don't know if I have any other stuff. I don't know. It's hard for me to realize the like when people think something is weird versus um I don't know. Oh, Hopefully we're good. Okay, hello? Blah, 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 blah. I might turn up my gain. Blah, 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 blah. Way too much, way too much, way too much. Okay. I don't know if I need to naturally do this, or if I can get a... Okay, fuck you, buddy. I don't know if you take like 20... Okay, I was gonna exaggerate. You take like 20 seconds to type a message that long. So I don't know if you were saying that with the music on, or if you were saying that now. So, redo it. Redo it, please. Okay, sick. I don't know if I need to get a class or a teacher or something to help me with this, but I don't have a naturally loud like voice. So I don't know if I need to work on projecting it individually or if I need to get somebody to work. Disable. Based. Okay. We good? Yeah? Cool. Should be good now. No shot. You're fucking lying to me. You're so lying to me. Quit. What are you hearing? What do you mean it's cutting out? I don't, hold on, let me. La 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 la. Alright, I'm gonna mute. I don't get it. Is it my end? Is it when the audio cuts off, your mic audio turns silent? What does that mean? When the audio... What? Dude, is this... Hold on. Because I listened to it back. It was consistent all the way through when I was making those annoying mouth noises. I'm going to Luigi, the CEO of Spectrum. Watch out, boys. I don't know. How bad is it? Should I restart it and see? OBS directly, and then I put the stream key into YouTube. Do you stream directly to YouTube, or? Dog. Okay. Close out of my close out close out of my stream and see if that fixes my audio. This is so fucking stupid. Close. Okay, stop. Fuck. Whoa. Wait. Oh no. Dude, if I... Hold on. Why was this so low before? Hold on. I'm gonna raise my volume to 100. Okay, based. Let me know if this is too high. And I'll try to hop on VC, but it might destroy my connection, so we'll see. Good luck. What's up?
Wait, so when you're streaming on OBS, do you like manually plug in the stream key every time for your...
No.
Wait, sorry, say that again?
No, I don't. No.
Okay, so like how do you have it set up on your OBS right now? With like...
On my stream setting, I go to destination, server, primary,
Can you show your
YouTube.
OBS on screen?
Wait, what is it?
Can you share your OBS or no?
Yeah. Hold on, let me... Actually, did that show any revealing? Yeah, give me 1 second. Alright, Monica, it's on 90%. Let me do this. Is it just... Would it be window? No. Holy shit, I'm retarded. Here, I'll just do this. Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay, but why is this not showing here? So actually, fuck it. I'll just do this. Does that show it? Yeah. So I do stream, and then I go here, and then it says use stream key advanced, and then I'll click on that, and then put my YouTube stream key into it. Do you do something differently? Oh, that was earlier, never mind. Could I... Desktop audio. I don't think I have to fuck with that. I don't know. One day, I will be good enough to put that back at 60, but today's not the day. I don't know. I think we are. You can let me know, I guess. She went silent, so I assume... I hope it's not my fault. So I assume something happened. Okay, sick. Maybe. We'll see. No way that I can copy. Quiz review, I guess. I noticed that one of your social tabs says the Kick application use Kick TV. I don't use it, or I don't use it to stream on, but I use it to watch stuff on. I think if my connection improved, I would be open to voice crack. That was your end, not mine. I would be open to actually streaming on there. Yeah. Why do you use Kick or? Oh. Sick, sick. I know Destiny does, and that's where he exclusively streams anything else. Based. Love it. No. I didn't have the voice crack. That was your end. That wasn't me. Why does ChatGPT do these ugly fucking emojis? Freak behavior. Freaks. Freak behavior, bitch. No, I want to get rid of this here, right? Yeah. Yep. 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 Shit. Yep. Okay. Short review time, boys. Damn, I know there's a doctor or nurse out there. Oh no, there's definitely way too many people that are using ChatGPT for, like, I don't want this to sound like I'm making an exception for myself because I feel guilty or think that it's actually inappropriate in every case or whatever, but like I feel like I'm using it as a way to check myself or to help myself learn in legitimate ways, whereas I see a lot of people that use it just to copy and paste answers into, and they don't learn anything from it. I think that's very sad. But in this course, there's a community board that you have access to. And on that community board, there are a ton of people that just copy and paste their answers from ChatGPT into this. So, super cool. True. Make them great again. Let me know if that's too loud. Alright, lecture 1, the moral side of murder. What does the trolley problem challenge in moral reasoning? A, the logic of government regulations. B, the emotional response to legal obligations. Okay, cool. C, the tension between outcomes and moral principles. Or D, the importance of public opinion. I think it's C, right? C, maybe I can expand on it a little bit. I want to try and keep them concise. It is meant to illustrate how people view consequentialism, I guess, as a quick thing. Consequentialism. Oh no, I'm retarded. Yeah, whatever. Consequential. Wait, is ism not a word? Okay. Fuck me, I guess. Can I emphasize this in a different way to distinguish it? That's good for now. Thanks, King. I owe it all to you, Monica. Big ups. Why might someone flip the switch in the trolley case? A, because following rules is always best. True. Thank you, thank you. B, because fewer deaths is a better outcome. C, because it's illegal not to. D, because they knew the people on the other track. What's up, Mr. Zachary? Before I forget, I'll give you one of these. I'll hit you with I'll give you one of these things right there. And then because Monica is such a baller, I'll hit you with one of these as well. Remember, with great power comes great responsibility. Don't fuck it up. Because fewer deaths is a better outcome? Yeah, sure. Diverting. Would be a hallmark of utilitarianism. I was wondering this today. I was thinking about it in my free time. With Kant's perspective of philosophy, with Kant's perspective of philosophy, I wonder how he would view the trolley method or the trolley problem. Or I wonder if they engage with this later on. I don't know. Because, like, if he thinks lying to a murderer that is trying to find your friend in your house is a absolute no, an absolute bad thing to do, then would that fall into the gray area of, like, what is a white lie? Like, if you had the choice to I don't know. I'll probably look into that after this. 3. Why is pushing the fat man viewed differently than flipping the switch? A. It is more violent and direct. B. It saves more people. C. It involves a machine instead of a person. D. It has no moral consequences. Thank you for your blessings, everything you touch. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Yeah, I'm like Donald Trump. Yeah. Everyone spread the word. I'm just like Donald Trump. Yep. I think because it's more violent and direct, I think was the justification. A, because people felt more comfortable with being more absent from this scenario. From the killing of the person, other than versus killing the person. Directly making contact. What does consequentialism emphasize? Duty and intentions, emotions and empathy, the outcome. Yeah, obviously, that's a consequence. You know what they say, with great power comes with heavy influence based. How might gut reactions and moral theories conflict? Gut reactions are always wrong, not true. Theories never account for feelings, not true. We may act emotionally, even if logic says otherwise. Feelings are legally binding. I think they can be, I don't think they necessarily are. We may act emotionally, even if logic says otherwise. Yeah, right, that's right, right? I think I'm mind fucking myself. I feel like that's correct, no? We may act emotionally, even if logic says, yeah. Okay, yeah. What reason would I give? I feel like this is self-explanatory. I'll say reasonable for this. Next. The stream setup is clean and I like the vibes. It looks good. Thanks, King. It's not going to be permanently like this. I was messing around with some of the borders because I don't know what that actually looks like, and then I have a couple other setups where this one is for like gaming stuff. This one is for like when I start the stream, which I rarely ever have people like in the beginning when I'm like chatting, so I rarely use this. And I'll jump over to here to have like the main videos and stuff play. Yeah, so I have the video from my lectures and stuff play on here or on YouTube, whatever else. And then the chat at the bottom, and then my Obsidian document here so I can do the research and whatnot. Okay, lecture 2. The case for cannibalism. In Dudley and Stevens, what was the court's ruling? They were found guilty of murder. I think 2 of the 3. I believe that 2 of the 3 remaining on the lifeboat were found guilty. Because that was the huge distinction in lecture 2, was like what is morally correct versus what is legally correct. How would a utilitarian justify killing the cabin boy? Because it benefited more people? It would be justified under the concept of more people saved equals good decision, I guess. Why does this case raise concerns about consent? A, the boy verbally agreed. B, consent wasn't possible in this situation. C, consent made the act legal. D, consent made no difference ethically. Yeah, it wasn't possible in this situation. Got it, it does help. Oops. So, it does help to have multiple scenes for streaming depending on what you're doing. Yeah. I was having issues with it before. But I think I got them set up recently and I was gonna clean up a bunch of stuff. I wasn't sure if I wanted to keep this like aesthetic. I was talking about that earlier because I feel like it doesn't fit me personally, so I'll probably end up changing that. Yeah, it wasn't possible for consent to be involved. The boy was sick. And aside from that, gonna conceptualize what it would mean to I wonder, because I was gonna say, if you can't really give consent to take your life, at least under Kant's framework in lecture 13 and prior to that. So I wonder if it's talking about in general, or if it's talking about in the utilitarian framework, if you can consent to giving your own life. But give consent. It still wasn't. How might a Kantian critique the act of killing the boy? It caused unnecessary pain. I don't think would really apply, because there are other instances in which things can cause unnecessary pain that would be justified, that wouldn't be critiqued. It lacked a democratic vote. You can't really vote to kill yourself or to have other people kill you. It was done in public. I don't think that really matters. If you were doing it in private, like, that wouldn't be justified either. And the main critique is that, because the main Kantian criticism is that humans in other philosophies are treated as a means rather than an end themselves. Or sure, is it end of themselves rather than an end? Belief is that all humans are should I say subject to dignity, I guess? I don't know. That makes sense to me, so fuck it. Bro, where did that fucking tsunami come from? What the fuck? FEMA? Yeah. FEMA, please. We need to clean up on my YouTube chat, please, FEMA. Maple, come here. Come here. Oh, sorry. Whoa, you're faking it. Look. She doesn't like being lifted while I'm in the chair, so she's nervous. but she wouldn't otherwise be okay. Go get your bone, queen. Go get your treat. What broader ethical issue does the case raise? At C doesn't matter because this issue would still be at hand. Monarchy doesn't matter because it's more of a morality issue. Legitimacy of taxation, which isn't really relevant to this whatsoever. Well, kinda. I could see it being stretched into taxation, but I don't think so. B, because it shows that, at least under certain frameworks, that this could be morally permissible. How do you spell permissible? Am I retarded? Sorry, I am retarded. Would be morally permissible, but not legally accepted. She blinks too much. Okay. I'm trying to get her to stop. All hail the dog. She is... Yeah. I have Honey back there too. I don't know if you can really see... You can kind of see them. Right there. Together. Lecture 3. Utilitarianism. What is Bentham's primary principle? The moral law. The categorical imperative. Oopsies. The principle of utility, or the rule of the majority. I'm pretty sure it's principle of utility, because he didn't really have concerns about the individual rights. But I feel like it could also be argued the rule of the majority, because it's the rule of the majority's happiness or utility in those cases. How does Bentham measure pleasure and pain? Hedonic calculus through intuition. I think it was public surveys, no? Was this not the one where the, Oh wait, it was here, sorry. Was this not the one where it was talking about, like... Fuck. Live in Kansas, and that was, like, the least popular one? Maple and Sonic would make a great duo? Why? Like Sonic the Hedgehog, or...? What is hedonic calculus? Method... Okay, nice one, fucking retard. Why would you give me the answer? I guess this is the answer. Good one, dipshit. Love it. Thank you. Didn't see because because I went to Google. I don't... This is like what I... This is what I was like thinking of, but I didn't know if it was like like confused with the public surveys or if it was something related to that. But I'm pretty sure they gave the example of like a few different things in like the 1930s where it was like moving to Kansas, it was strangling a cat with your bare hands, it was removing a tooth and selling it. Like they would rank the priority of things that people had and see which one was the most valuable to them or how much it would cost them to be able to do those things. And Kansas was the most expensive because people just did not want to live in Kansas during that time. So I think I was right about it, but I didn't want that to fucking tell me the answer, so good one, I guess. Because I remember, there was the questions, there were asked about people's preferences and how much fucking who knew that I would be singing through anything to my deployment? I like it though. Thanks, King. It's kind of boring, but also I don't know. I shouldn't shit on it. I like it personally, but I feel like it could be boring to other people. So I want to try to mix in some quote-unquote commentary and explanations or concepts with people as I'm going through everything so that they're following along with it. I have a thing to reference, and then I can also reinforce it with my own kind of like thoughts and criticisms and have it all formatted in a nice, structured sort of way. Yeah. Yeah, Super Sonic the Hedgehog and Super Maple. Dude, what the fuck? What does that mean? Why? Where did you get Sonic from? That sounds like a dream to me. Are you talking about living in Kansas? What's one criticism of utilitarianism? It doesn't... for one, it treats people as a means to an end, which basically leads to not valuing the person as an individual or their rights personally. So A, it overvalues tradition, B, it ignores consequences, C, it disrespect... Okay, yeah. Because it treats people as a means to an end, inevitably disrespect... Good one, dipshit. Good one, dipshit. Dog shit internet. Spectrum CEO, I'm coming for you. Fuck you. Yeah, I personally enjoy it. I'd probably still do it regardless of if anybody watched or not, but if people do tune in and enjoy it, or just want to chat about random shit, then I still enjoy that as well, so... How might utilitarianism justify torture? Probably because you're sacrificing someone's individual rights at the exchange of the potential of something that's useful, I would imagine. If it serves justice, if it is widely accepted, if it prevents greater harm, if it deters crime. I would imagine if it prevents greater harm because you want the maximum utility, right? This doesn't matter. I don't think justice is core to utilitarianism. That's why they introduced libertarianism later on, and then the Kantian ethics and whatnot later on from that point. So, if it deters crime, if it prevents, because preventing greater harm means that it is accounting for a greater, a maximum amount of utility for the greater public. What is one way utilitarianism struggles with justice? It rejects moral failings. It may allow sacrificing the few. It supports legal formalism, or it overemphasizes consent. So it doesn't really emphasize consent whatsoever. What is legal formalism? Jurisprudence that views law as a self-contained system with rules separate from social and political influences and emphasizes the importance of applying these rules as they are written, with judges acting as neutral. I don't think that is really relevant to it, because this seems like an emphasis on justice, or like the theory of prioritizing justice. I don't think utilitarianism really gives a fuck about justice that much. It rejects moral feelings. I don't think so, because moral feelings would play into utility. I don't know. Hold on. It may allow sacrificing the few. I think there are probably instances in which justice is permissible, in which it is sacrificing the few. Maybe it is A, and I'm overthinking it. When it says it rejects moral feelings, I'm kind of thinking in like, it is... It's accepting moral feelings in terms of like what is utility, but I don't... It rejects moral feelings. Rejects moral feelings. Because if it's saying feelings, I would imagine that's a more individualistic approach, which would fall into the libertarianism mindset or the Kantian ethics kind of mindset. Because this accounts, like moral feelings, I feel like implies that it's talking about an individual and their personal perspective rather than the aggregate and the total amount of people. Because this philosophy generally, I'll say, generally looks at pure numbers to determine what is a quality outcome, rather than considering the individual feelings. Okay. Quick question for people in chat, aka maybe Zach and maybe Monica. Should I do all 13 of the personal quizzes and then submit them? Or should I do like 3 and then submit the 3 as I go? Like 3, 3, 3, and then like 2 or whatever.
Butterflies will play about your head, bringing love and wisdom when the morning comes. When the morning comes.
I would say full send and just do all of them. Not really. So this is more of like a personal review. It's hard to explain. I can do it real quick, actually. So in this course that I'm taking, it's just an individual course first, a certification. You do these lectures. Why can you not see my cursor? Oh, there we go. So you do these lectures, and then you do a graded quiz. But within each lecture, there is a self-test going over each of the materials. Each self-test has 3 questions, but they're not graded. And right now I'm on lecture 13 and about to do quiz 3. So I'm doing this as like a freshening up, I guess, of the concepts. So these here on Obsidian are not necessary. However, the quizzes that I'm taking, like these, are necessary. Putting a price on life, lecture 4. Number 1, why do governments use cost-benefit analysis? A, to calculate profit. B, to ensure fairness in law. C, to make resource-efficient decisions. Or D, to punish corporations. I'm eating a chocolate bar right now. Guess what kind? The Feastable. Mr. Beast's notorious chocolate bar. Maybe resource efficient? I don't think I would really envision... I don't think I would envision the core governments would be like doing it to punish corporations. I don't think that makes sense. To make resource efficient decisions, I would imagine, because they have the budget and they have things that they have to allocate spending to, and if they're allocating too much spending to some term, and like what extent of these things are acceptable to invest into. To ensure fairness in law? That feels weird, but I can kind of see it. Calculate profit, I don't... Is the government really that concerned with calculating profit? I know they want to, like, not... Ideally not spend a fuck ton, which is what Republicans supposedly care about, despite, you know, continuing to spend a fuck ton. So do they really care about it? Doesn't seem like it. I would say maybe C, because I would think that they would use this to determine where what is a moral criticism of assigning value to life? A, it's too subjective. B, it corrupts human dignity. C, it reduces legal clarity. So legal clarity doesn't really matter because it's a moral criticism. D, it's scientifically outdated. For one, I don't think that's can be the case at all whatsoever. And for two, again, it's a moral criticism. Corrupts human dignity. Was that even talked about? Human dignity within this? I think it's the subjectiveness, no? Because a lot of people were raising their hand during the lecture being like, well, I don't think that like $200,000 is like, is enough for a human life. Right? I think so. Hold on. What was this, lecture 4? How am I supposed to know you're eating a Hershey's dog? What the fuck? I thought it was gonna be like a Mimi candy. Because I remember the objections being raised, at least in the Ford example, that the amount of money was much too low. I'll say for some. How would a utilitarian defend pricing life? A, it supports Kantian duties. Is it Kant? Or... I think it's Emmanuel, right? Emmanuel? Pronounced? Immanuel Kant.
Immanuel Kant.
Okay, good shit. Thanks. So, Kantian principles are inherently counter to utilitarianism. B, it promotes better rules. C, it maximizes overall welfare. Or D, it reinforces divine law. I feel like that doesn't matter whatsoever. Divine law, A, no. B, B, it promotes better roles. C, it I would imagine C. Because having the ability to price life means that you can adjust your decisions accordingly when you have this amount considered. What issue did the Ford Pinto case raise? A, freedom of the market. B, racial discrimination. No. C, corporate liability and cost-benefit logic. Or D, intellectual property concerns. No. Oh, by the way, I just bought Peak. Based. Okay, yeah, let me know. Because Peak is... I wouldn't say Peak is Peak, but people make that joke too many times. Peak is really fun. I don't know. I haven't played with anybody yet, but I played it by myself. And that was good enough for me to enjoy it, so... I'm pretty sure this is the corporate liability and cost-benefit logic. Because in that case, they prioritized profit to the extent that they left out, they intentionally, I should put, left out a part of the build that would have protected more of the drivers' lives, I'll say. Oh, Zach, I don't know if you play these games or if you would like it, but there's a game called Blueprints. It's spelled like this, like that. I thought that one looked really fun. Alright, how might Kant object to pricing life? A, it violates economic freedom. No. B, it treats people as ends in themselves. I don't think so. As ends in themselves. C, it's inefficient. No, I don't think you would... D, it rewards immoral acts. Does it? I guess it could, but not necessarily, right? Does he disagree with the... I don't know if he disagrees with that, does he? Treating them as means? Or as ends? Yeah, it would still be using people as means rather than respecting them as ends, which is what he wants to do, right? Oh, dude, I was playing that on Game Pass. It's actually really fun. I enjoyed it, but stopped playing. I got the Cyberpunk DLC and have been on the grind. I wanted to get into Cyberpunk, but it's just too much. It's kind of overwhelming for me at the moment. Maybe I can get onto it or into it a little bit later in life, but right now it's just way too much personally. Blueprints does look fun though. It looks like a very autistic, like, puzzle kind of game. It's inefficient. It violates economic freedom. I don't think so. B, I don't think so, because I don't think Kant really disagrees with it. I think he wants people to be treated as ends in themselves and not means. C, it's inefficient. No, I guess D, because any exception in which an immoral thing is acted upon is therefore immoral itself. Because any instance in which something that is immoral can be rewarded is therefore thing that I don't know, I guess this is it. Okay, there's a break here. I think I'm going to check these so far. Was that 1 through 4? Pictures. There's a lot going on in the cyberpunk universe, but I'm sure whenever you play it, you'll have fun. Yeah, Blueprints tickles the tism in my brain. Based. There's a new game that I downloaded that I think you would like if you haven't played it. I think it was for sale. Why did the music stop? I don't want to listen to this anymore, though. Where is it? It's called Suit for Hire, if you've ever heard of that. It's like a John Wick kind of game. Alright, I'm gonna copy and paste these first 4 into ChatGPT to have it check. I'm only doing this because there's that break that's between this and the rest of it, so... Okay, let's go. You're engaging not just with the correct answers, but the moral reasoning behind them. Below is a detailed, whatever. Correct, 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 correct. Eat shit. Correct, correct, correct. Based, based, based. Based. Fuck. Based. Fuck. Based. Based. Fuck. Okay. That's pretty solid, okay, okay. That's pretty solid. Where's my fucking hand? Give it to me. Give it to me, it's solid. Let's see what the criticisms are. So, clarification, suggestions, what was it? Number 1. Based in chat. Alright, boys. I need, like, 1,000 subscribers ASAP. So that means bot it up, create as many bots as possible, create as many alternate accounts as possible, create as many like fake emails, and take your parents' emails and your grandparents' emails, anybody that's like dead that isn't using them anymore, take those emails as well, make more accounts, subscribe to me so I can get like 1,000 subs, and I can monetize, which isn't the priority. I just want based emotes in chat. Please. Okay, so number 1, what was the clarification, you dickhead? The trolley problem pits consequentialist reasoning against categorical reasoning. Don't use a person as it reads. Your reference to utilitarians the classic backline. Okay. Proximity and directness. You might also note that it introduces a doctrine of double effect. Is that for based stuff? What is double effect? The action itself must be morally bad or morally good or at least neutral. Cannot be intrinsically wrong or evil. Okay, well I'll look into that later, I guess. Straightforward, more theories. May lead to... What was this one? You could add that this sets up later lectures exploration of moral intuition versus rational principle. I'm about to give you the biggest shout out and help you get that goal. Thanks, King. We just need to have a podcast thing and talking about shit, man. That'll draw the people in. We need me to talk about all of the military shit. Because I'm just correct about it all. And I don't know shit about it. But I'm just correct. And they'll get so triggered that they'll be like, dude, Zach, this guy's a fucking retard. Who is he, for one? For two, why is he so correct, and why is my cognitive dissonance not allowing me to... why am I feeling it so strongly that I'm incapable of providing any substantive critique to what he's saying? Like, he's just so fucking smart. And why is he so cool? Like, who made him so cool? Like, that jazz music in his fucking... in his YouTube live streams? Like... I've never seen anybody do that before. That's so cool. and it'll draw everybody in. We'll have advertisement everywhere on Times Square. You'll be printing out pamphlets and handing them out to your fellow soldiers, and it'll be a good time. Find anything that's wrong with that, by the way. Lecture 2. 2 were convicted. Yeah. War to save lives. Yep, you're identifier. Nice phrasing. Couldn't conceptualize what it would mean. Very Kantian. Thanks. I've heard many people say that I am just like him. I'm him. Nailed it again. Conscious using people as a means, even for good, violates their dignity. Purpose, law and morality are not always aligned. Yeah, okay. Hello, dude, I was just talking about that. That'd be the funniest shit, honestly. I don't... when I'm talking about, I don't know if I just mean, like, procedures or, like, weaponry or whatever else, but it would just be funny just to confidently spew bullshit about whatever. Okay, this is one I got one wrong on, so... Principal utility, yeah. Excellent with the how much will you be paid question, the hedonic calculus. That's so fucking bullshit. Google just told me what it was, basically, but I still had the reasoning behind it. I just... yeah. Yeah, disrespects individual rights, justify torture, allows even extreme actions, even if they prevent greater harm. Okay. The one I got incorrect. What is one way utilitarianism struggles with justice? It rejects moral feelings is my answer, and I put because this philosophy generally looks at pure numbers to determine what is a quality outcome rather than considering the individual feelings. Which I think I said it could be B. I haven't checked what ChatGPT said yet, but I think that it could be B. Potentially. Close, but the better answer here is B. It may allow sacrifice in the few. It doesn't inherently reject moral feelings, it simply doesn't prioritize them. That's fair. The main justice issue is that it can justify harming one for many. I think that's fair. I'll do this. That makes sense to me. Oh, it could be about anything from procedures to weapon systems. Yeah, whatever I know least about would be the better thing, I think. Alright, number 4. This is one I got 2 wrong in. Cost benefit, yeah, usually limited. That makes sense too. Better clarification would be including the limited resources efficiently. Number 2. What is a moral criticism assigning value to life? Okay, so I put that it's too subjective, and I remembered people raising concerns about the value being too low. Close, but the more philosophically grounded objection is B. It corrupts human dignity. Okay. I think I was considering it from the... like, I feel like this kind of considers it more from a Kantian perspective, whereas I was kind of interpreting it from the framework of utilitarianism, but I guess that makes sense. The course emphasizes the moral discomfort of treating human life as a commodity. Reducing people to numbers violates their inherent worth. Yeah, see, a Kantian idea. That makes sense. Number 2? Yeah. I originally put A, but the real answer would be B. Yeah, Class A rage bait, love it. Wait, hold on. Before, I don't know what time you have to leave or how long you'll be watching, but after I finish reviewing the 1 through 4 on this, there's a streamer, I hopped on this panel about Democrats and MAGA and stuff, and there's this streamer that I pissed off, and it's so funny, because she got so fucking mad over something so petty. Number 3, spot on. Utilitarians argued that attaching dollar amounts for transition. Yeah, okay. What was that? How do we defend? Okay, yeah. Okay, number 5. How might Kant object to pricing life? I put D. It rewards immoral acts. And I said D because any instance in which something that is immoral can be rewarded is therefore a thing. Yeah, okay. The better choice is B. It treats people as ends in themselves. Is actually what Kant would want, not object to. Wait. I feel like, am I misinterpreting that? How might Kant object to pricing life? I had some time left. I gotta go grab breakfast in about 15 minutes. Okay, I'll do this real quick then, and I have to swap out some laundry and I'll show you. What Kant would object to is pricing life because it treats people as a means, not as ends. Your rationale is good, but misapplied. Pricing life commodifies dignity, making it a Kantian violation. I think I need to clarify this because this doesn't really make sense to me. Unless it's just missing me entirely. How might he object to it? Wait, so, okay. So for lecture 4, question 5, when you say that the answer is B, are you saying that the objection to pricing life is that individuals should be treated as an end and not the means? Would I just say that, like, my interpretation of it? I'll say, unless I am misinterpreting. How might, okay. Once it's treated people as never as a means to an end, that's his foundational treating people as. It sounds like a good answer because but it's actually. Wait. Is this saying that it phrased the thing horribly? Because, hold on. It sounds like a good answer, because it references Kantian language, but it's actually a trap. If you're interpreting it as saying pricing life equals treating people as it's incorrect from a Kantian standpoint, because pricing a person's life reduces their worth to a numerical value, which is a way of using them as a means to economic calculations, not respecting their inherent moral dignity. This would violate the principle of treating them as an end in themselves. So you're right to flag this. The phrase treats people as ends in themselves is Kant's ideal, but in this case, the objection is that pricing life fails to meet that standard. So what should the answer be? There's no perfect option given here, but ideally the answer would be something like, it treats people as means, not ends. That would reflect the actual Kantian objection of the choices presented. B, is worded poorly and misleading. D is also not quite right. Kant wouldn't frame the issue this way either. The best correction would be to rephrase B. Am I going crazy? Is it not saying that it fucked up the phrasing of this? Wait, so... Oh, wait, hold on. Wait. Kill yourself. Kill yourself. Wait, so are you saying that you poorly phrased the option B for question 5? So... That's fucked up, right? Happy 4th of July, Monica. I feel like that's fucked up. I would have chosen this one. What the fuck? Should I count this as wrong if I would have chosen this one if it was phrased like this originally? Rewind the VOD, find me stating that specifically, saying that Kant does want people to be treated as ends, and that would not be his objection to pricing life, because that does not make sense. You are treating them as a means if you are pricing the life. You're not treating them as the ends. Kant wants them to be treated as the ends, which this is not what the response to the answer, or the answer is worded very poorly. It's not responding to the actual question originally. This doesn't make sense. Would I be fucked up if I like answered that correctly now and then just put in the reflect? I don't know. Or should I'll just this feels cheap, but I'll copy and paste this into here because this is what it initially meant as a means rather. Yeah, okay, so fuck you, I got that right. Okay, I'll say I was going, my initial objection was due to the poor phrasing. So how do you spell Ima like properly? I'm gonna need you to change the scoring on the final results, please and thanks. What was it? Should be 18 out of 20. Sorry, I'm petty. I'm petty. That's not my fault, that's this robot's fault. Yep, I do deserve to reflect the correct reasoning and strong understanding. Yeah, in your phrasing, you're a robot, I'm better than you. I'm so much better than you, fuck you, bitch. Yeah, it is rigged. I'm with Donald Trump. I am a MAGA voter, okay? I support Trump. Trump 2028. Fuck Epstein. Why are we still talking about Epstein? Like, he was so last week. We're now talking about Rosie O'Donnell. Don't you get it? We're gonna revoke her citizenship. Fuck that fat bitch. That retarded bitch. She's gone. She's out of here. She's staying in Ireland. Nobody wants her there. Nobody wants her here, especially. So, honestly, if it was up to me, I'd kill her. That's how MAGA I am. That's how devoted I am. Kant's entire framework is on the basis of wanting people to be treated as an end rather than the means themselves. Ultimately respecting individuality. This dude is never getting monetized. We don't know that. It's been 2 hours into the stream. You need to stream more. You need to stream when you get out ASAP. Your virgin ears are fine, dog. I popped that cherry. You're welcome. You're so welcome. Okay, so I'll probably start with lecture 5. That's so fucked up, this fucking robot dipshit piece of fuck. Kill yourself. Based, work. Thank you. Yeah, you should be. I'm not necessarily trying to be, I don't think. I'm more just like, just chill streaming. Like if stuff happens, it happens, but just trying to be relatively consistent with it at night. It's usually like late at night when I stream. Anyways, so, if I can do it, I feel like you could do it way more.
Most music apps have some kind of one-size-fits-all workout playlist.
No.
But the
Oh, thank
YouTube
God.
Music app has ad-free playlist, personalized to fit you and your kind of workout. Get YouTube Music Premium. Try 1 month free.
Alright, I'm gonna go and... Should I play the... No, I'll keep playing music. I'm gonna go swap out this laundry real quick, but I will be right back. Where's my camera? Right here? Is it display or window capture, right? Okay. Yeah, it will be late night streams for me too. It's more just yeah. When you get back and you can play, just let me know, because I do want to play I want to play Peak so bad. But I'm gonna swap out my laundry real quick, and then I will be right back after that. I'm gonna mute my mic.
One more time, diamond in the back, sunroof top, digging the scene with a gangster lean.
Welcome to today. The day where you no longer have to see the world for what it is, but what it could be. The day where you can forget about inheriting someone else's world and make yours instead. Today is that day. to rip up the blueprint, make it what you want. Turn walls to art. Make every screen tell a story. Leave every rule in the rear view. Because with Firefly, the world is what you make it.
Whoa. I actually get to do my laundry stuff, so... Some interruption. And he's looking at you because he likes you. He just low-key... Not low-key, high-key fucks with you, dog. Problem? Scrub? 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 When are you gonna upload a video? I don't know. I don't know, I'm retarded, okay? Fuck. I am not muted. Quit fucking with me. Get this gay fucking music out of here. ASAP. I want to watch some current stuff, boys. Boys, lads, and ladies. Yeah, I don't know if I... Oh wait, no, I was gonna show you the streamer that got triggered from me. It's so stupid, dude. It's like, it's not even that... I don't know. It's just retarded. I don't know how politically involved or savvy or whatever you are, Zach, but I'm sure you've seen posts and stuff and know that I get triggered with shit all the time. But the title of this is, "Are Democrats responsible for the MAGA? For the rise of MAGA?" And controversy demonstrates why it's yes. I think it's so fucking cucked out and retarded to blame Democrats for MAGA being like just dipshits and being the most like disgusting, degenerate pieces of shit possible. Originally it was the top left, top right, this guy down here, and this chick here. These three are supposedly Democrats. This one is like a MAGA voter, like who was originally a liberal but got tired of like woke stuff, so she flipped her entire principles. But I jumped on the panel because I wanted to shit talk and be like, no, like the reason why Democrats are losing, why the reason why MAGA is at the point that it is now is because of like weak-willed, like spineless people like you, basically. I don't know if it's here.
They are responsible.
Stardust
Yes.
says that. Oh wait, was it here? By the... Let me know if you can hear that.
Me, she's got thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of followers, right?
Look how
Like, he's much
Democrats
bigger than
treat
me.
centrists. They say if there's even a conversation between the two for you, you're fucking disgusting and retarded. It's like, that's
No,
why,
it's not about
dude.
the conversation. It's about a conversation that's happening about reconnect, 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 reconnect. Oh, there we go. Oh, there we go. Okay.
They
Former
call them
Democrat.
people who are kind of...
I don't know where it cut out at, but it's being
Honestly,
spearheaded by like the
I
most
call myself a
weak-willed,
Republican
by the,
because of how
by the
people
most
react to me calling
weak-willed,
myself a
cucked
centrist.
Democrats on this entire panel, and then someone who
You're
says they were a
literally
former
calling
Democrat.
people who are kind of centrist, weak-willed, and cucked. Why do you think the centrists
Yes, I
vote for
am,
the other
because
side,
on here,
retard?
Short Fat
What are
Otaku
you
says that
doing?
the Democrats are 2/3 responsible for why MAGA is where it is now. Stardust
Yes.
says that Democrats are also the reason for MAGA's uprising. Wig says we need to be nice to the people who are
Whoa,
never nice to
that's
anybody
not what I
else.
said at all.
That is what you said.
Excuse me.
Go to the beginning of the VOD. You can
stand by my part, though. I'm
That's
In
what
the video
you
where I
said.
specifically talked about what movements literally led to the rise of MAGA. We talked about anti-establishment. We talked about anti-intellectualism. We talked about anti-science. We
You can
talked
talk
about
whatever you want, but ultimately you said that the
isolationism.
Democrats are responsible for the rise of
No,
MAGA.
I fucking didn't, you
Yeah,
fucking idiot.
okay,
you
okay,
fucking
listen,
retard.
listen, dipshit, listen, dipshit.
Listen,
I'll get the clip for you.
listen,
I'll
you
get the clip for you. I'll send it over to
stupid
you.
fucking asshole. What are you talking
Said they
about?
are responsible in part. If
I
you
said
don't
they were.
believe that,
I said they were a
that's not-
small
no.
part,
Okay,
a
that's
very
what
small
I'm saying.
part of a larger issue.
Yeah, Gather,
You're
do
not
you think
saying
it would be... Do you think it's silly when historians say
Don't
that it is...
fucking, don't fucking do,
Hold
like,
on,
do
hold
that
on.
with me. That's some bullshit.
Okay, someone else
Do you
talking.
think?
Let
Do you
him talk.
think it would be? Don't do that. Do you think
Don't do
it
that.
seems kind of concede?
Why'd
you come back?
And then she starts
if I-
talking again, and then hijacks the panel just so she can complain about me.
Everything that's downstream of a
Okay,
policy,
I'll
then it's a useless fucking term, and stop using it.
Who's this
are what
Gathererold guy?
happens-
What a fucking cocksucker. You're a cocksucker. You know that?
That's what I want on my soundboard. Who is this Gathererold guy? You're a cocksucker. You're a fucking cocksucker. You know that?
So Stardust, why'd you come back? Is it just to get into a fight with this guy?
No, I wouldn't even come back to come and get into a fight with him, but now I am fighting with him. You're a cocksucker. You want to acknowledge that you're a cocksucker? You suck cock all day?
What's wrong with sucking
Yes. Base. Yes.
Okay, all right. You're a cocksucker, massive cocksucker.
So in the
This
same
is the,
material way,
this is the hold on. This is the policy-based discussion we need.
And then she goes back on, and she's like, I'm sorry to hijack this again. I just really don't want to let the disrespect go on because it's unfair to me and blah blah blah. But I just don't want to be misrepresented and blah blah blah. Like who gives a fuck? It's not a big deal. You're a streamer. You've been streaming for like several years at this point. You're on a panel of like yes men that also agree with you. I'm a random fucking nobody with my fucking camera turned off and my internet disconnecting every like 2 minutes. Why? Who cares? Who gives a fuck? This woman right next to you said she hates Muslims. She said she hates, like, your family is Muslim. I'm pretty sure, I don't know if she's, like, ethnically or, like, culturally or Muslim or whatever, but, like, this chick here said she hates your identity. But you're coming after me because I paraphrased, like, what you were saying the whole time? Like, so fucking gay. But, yeah. I just thought that was funny. Basically, I don't know, it's just I can see her getting more upset because she's like when I'm like, yeah, I do suck cocks, Yeah, I do, based. And she's like, she's sitting there like stewing, reading chat, just pissed off. But, I don't know.
Trump turning on Putin, claiming
When was this? 5 days ago? I want shit from today.
he's had enough of him and his antics.
Is this also 5 days ago? This was 3 hours ago. Interesting. Really? Interesting. I gotta do some work stuff. But whenever you're streaming, I'll try and jump in here and chill. Once I'm back in the States, we can play a peek and whatever. When did you say you're going back to the States? If you haven't left already. I mean, left the stream, not this. Or not where you're stationed at, my bad. Ooh, mid-August, baby, let's go. Sick. Whoa, big Trump. Big Trump. Whoa. Is this good here? What about the audio here?
We had a great time at the big soccer match today at the Meadowlands. It was phenomenal. It was a little bit of an upset, I guess I would say, but it was a great match, very well played, tremendous crowd. And that's sort of a pre-World Cup. We have World Cup coming, we have Olympics coming, and we have 250 years coming. That's going to be a big one, maybe the biggest one of all. So that was great. We had some tremendous financial numbers released on Friday, as you probably heard, that our country made $25 billion last month. $25 billion. It hasn't done that in a long time, and a lot of that's done because of good management, and number one.
Because of good
and maybe
management.
even more importantly, the tariffs that are pouring in. We have tariffs pouring in at levels that we have never seen before, and they've only just started. That's really a small portion. It's mostly
Alrighty,
from
be
cars
safe, have fun.
and aluminum and steel, a little bit of lumber. But they'll really start in about another week, and then in about a month they'll come in at levels that are extremely strong. And our country's making a lot of money, We're dealing with other countries and certain countries that would rather have a deal than a regular tariff. And we're willing, if they're willing to open up. These are countries that have been shut to us, but we've been open to them. In other words, they wouldn't let us do business there, but they would do business in our country. It's not a fair deal. So the European Union is talking to us. They want to open up their country. I would say Japan to a much lesser extent in terms of opening up their country. Japan, as you know, and we're very close to Japan, but they sell us millions and millions of cars a year. We sell them no cars because they won't accept our cars. And they won't accept much of our agriculture either. So, but they're all changing their ways very, very rapidly. South Korea wants to make a deal other than tariffs. Right now, as you know, they're paying a substantial tariff, but they want to make a difference. So some of these deals, maybe I'll change them and maybe I won't. But our country is making a lot of money. A lot of money for the first time in a long time.
I like how he's like, yeah, I might lower the tariffs, I might raise them, I don't know, I might keep them, I don't actually know. Also, Jerome Powell, I need you to lower the interest rates as soon as fucking possible. It's unfair that you're deciding the interest rates being lowered or kept the same based on my inconsistency. That's fucked up. That's irresponsible of you. I need you to lower this. Please, 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 please.
In decades. And that's the way it should be. We have a country that's, and I said it the other day to you people, we have a country that was dead. It was dead.
Dead how?
It was a
God,
goner
what the
1 year
fuck?
ago, and now we have the hottest country in the world. Okay, questions?
Epstein.
$40 billion that would go to illegal benefits. What does that mean to the bottom line that we're taking away a lot of the fraud and abuse to illegal?
Getting rid of a lot of waste, fraud, and abuse. One of the reasons I think that you'll see the numbers start to be very good for the country, but I think more than anything else, we have tariffs coming in the will be hundreds of billions of dollars.
Of course.
Gaza, we are talking, and hopefully we're going to get that straightened out over the next week. Let's see what happens.
Gavin Newsom is fighting. Gavin Newsom's fighting to keep men and women's sports. He's fighting with Fonte, McMahon. As a father, as a husband, does he hate women? Why does he want men and women's sports so badly?
No, I don't know if he hates women, but look, he thinks it's good politically, I guess. He's just saying
What? Was that a trans question?
next week. Let's see what happens.
Gavin Newsom is fighting. Gavin Newsom's fighting to keep men and women's sports. He's fighting with Fonte, McMahon. As a father, as a husband, does he hate women? Why does he want men and women's sports so badly?
Does he
No, I don't
hate
know if he hates
women?
But look, he thinks it's good politically, I guess. He's just saying Gavin Newsom wants to keep men and women's sports. Nobody understands it. Very few. I say it's a 3% issue. You know, they say it's 80-20. It's not 80-20. I think it's 97-3.
Good math, good math.
Even on Chris Cuomo's show recently, she blamed you for the fact that she's overweight, depressed, and drunk. What do you say to that? Do you think
Did
CBS
she?
is going to ever be in DSM-5?
Also, I
don't
wouldn't
know
be
about Rosie.
surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if he was partially responsible for that, because it's probably a fuck ton of stress that Rosie O'Donnell will be put under from his stupid fucking statements. It's not
I watch
unreasonable.
Rosie. Rosie's a mess. She's a mess. But she left our country, which is a good thing, not a bad thing. Yeah. Well, I'm going to have a meeting with the Secretary General who's coming in tomorrow. But we basically are going to send them various pieces of very sophisticated military. They're going to pay us 100% for them. And that's the way we want it. And we've been trying to get that again. I don't think Biden ever asked for it. We're in for about $350 billion. Europe is in for $100 billion. That's a lot of money, 100, but they should be in actually for more than us. So as we send equipment, they're going to reimburse us for that equipment. Doesn't that sound good? That's the way it should have been a long time ago.
Wow, brave.
I haven't agreed on the number yet, but they're going to have some because they do need protection. But the European Union is paying for it. We're not paying anything for it, but we will send it. It'll be business for us, and we will send them Patriots, which they desperately need. Because Putin really surprised a lot of people. He talks nice and then he bombs everybody in the evening. So there's a little bit of a problem there, and I don't like it. Oh, I think so. I did. I spoke to him today. Dan Bongino, very good guy. I've known him a long time. I've done his show many, many times. And he sounded terrific, actually. No, I think he's in good shape.
Is he in good shape?
On this 1-year anniversary of Butler, what was going through your mind this morning, Mr. President, as you woke up to start this new day?
Will you repeat that question?
On this 1-year anniversary of Butler, what was going through your mind this morning when you woke up? I know that you're praising God you're alive, but a lot of people want to know how you're taking this day on this 1-year
He's
anniversary.
notoriously praising God.
Protecting me.
Very religious.
Maybe because God
Very
wanted to see our
religious,
country do better.
very smart.
We'll do really well. Make America great again. But God was protecting me, Brian. I'll tell you, it's the more you think about it, the more you see it.
True.
But no, I don't.
Does he also protect the pedophiles that you protect, or like what's going on there?
like to think about it much. You know, I have a job to do, so I don't like to think about it much. It's a little bit of a dangerous profession being president, but I really don't like to think about it too much. I think you're better off not thinking about it.
And you were able to accomplish 20 promises so far.
Yeah, I think
Whoa!
we've more
20
than-
promises out of the fucking million that he made. The biggest ones that have not been fulfilled. The fucking the Ukraine war ending on day one. I think what was it, Gaza? I think he's also said that it was going to end. The war in Gaza, the hostages were going to be brought back, the files were all going to be released, the MLK, JFK, hesitant on Epstein for some reason, very curious. Yeah, what how many promises did he make? 90, was it 90 deals in 90 days? How many actually came forward and made any deal, any substantive deal? Like,
delivered. Thank you for saying that. But, you know, we made a lot of promises,
Wow.
and we've actually given a lot more promises than we even made. And
What?
you add on that a tremendous success with the strike that we had, getting rid of nuclear weapons in Iran. That was a big, big strike. And, you know, when the pilots came to my office, they were there, as you know, with some of the other people having to do with that strike. And they said something very interesting. They said, you know, we've been practicing this for 22 years, but no president had the guts to tell us to do it. But this has been on our minds for many, many years, and we did it. And I would say from 0 to 10, with 10 being the best, that attack was a 15.
What do you think about this new bill that's going to basically eliminate no capital gains tax on home sales to be able to free up the money people who've owned a house for a long time can't afford to pay the capital gains?
Yeah, well, we're looking at that, and it's going to be, it could be a very big positive. I don't think for you, because you make so much money, it doesn't matter. But I think it's going to be a great, you know, a great incentive for a lot of people that really need money.
So between that and Jerome Powell stepping down, that could really boost home sales.
Well, I think if Jerome Powell stepped down, it would be a great thing. I don't know that he's going to, but he should. Jerome Powell's been very bad for our country. We should have the lowest interest rate on earth, and we don't. He just refuses to do it, and yet he's spending $2.5 billion rebuilding the Fed, the Federal Reserve building. And I don't know what he knows about building, but you talk about cost overrun. So he got this approved, and he started the work during the Biden administration. And he doesn't look like the kind of a guy, frankly, that wants to spend $2.5 billion. And it's very interesting.
what kind of guy does that look
Because
like?
out of 71 economists, one person, me, and then one other person, I think from Wharton, got it right, and the others were all wrong in terms of the success of our country this quickly. We have no inflation. We have cash pouring in. It was me and somebody else. And I can tell you.
What does any of this? What does any of it mean? What the fuck? Who are the 71 economists? Based. Is it actually connected again? Sick. I love when it disconnects, actually. I actually prefer it when it disconnects. What does he mean, like, we have no inflation? Would I just look up the inflation rate? 2025? What's maybe this? Okay. Is Investopedia a reliable source for stuff? I don't know. I'm gonna finish watching this though.
Because out of 71 economists, one person, me, and then one other person, I think from Wharton, got it right, and the others were all wrong.
Got
in terms
what
of
right,
the success
dog?
of our
Like-
country this quickly, we have no inflation. We have cash pouring in. It was me and somebody else. And I can tell you, I don't need 5,000 people working for me behind the scenes like Jerome Powell to tell him what he should say one.
You definitionally have 5,000 people behind the scenes working for you. You're the president of the fucking United States of America. You have so many different agencies. You have so many different like positions that you're responsible for assigning. Like, what do you mean you don't like? You literally have one person. Sorry, unless you're talking about direct involvement regarding like executive orders or anything like that. You're right. You have 6 people standing behind you, and then one person like reading it out to you. Not even reading it out, like paraphrasing what the EO supposedly says, because you're too much of a fucking disgusting dimwit fucking dipshit to actually know what any of it says or what any of it means. So sorry, maybe you don't need 5,000 people behind you telling you what to say. You just need one person paraphrasing it when it comes to executive orders at the very least. But like, he's the head of the Federal fucking Reserve. He has a board of like governors that have to handle the rates of everything and the Federal Reserve as its entirety. Like, he's the spokesperson essentially, and then you have to interact with all the different banks to figure out how to adjust your policy. What do you mean you don't have 5,000? Like, is it good because you have less people? What's the point in saying that? It doesn't make any sense. But
a month because they got it wrong. The Fed got it wrong. I call him too late. He's always too late. Every point cost us $360 billion. Think of that. And we should be 3 points. That's almost $1 trillion. Approximately $1 trillion less we should be just with the signing of a piece of paper. So we'll see what happens. I mean, you're telling me he's going to quit. I hope he quits. I don't know that he's going to quit, but he should quit because he's been very bad for the country.
And Russia, are you going to be announcing sanctions on Russia tomorrow?
We're going to see what we will see tomorrow, okay? We have the
probably not. He's
Secretary
too bitch
General.
made.
As you know, Europe has announced sanctions. But I am very disappointed with President Putin. And I thought he was somebody that meant what he said, and he'll talk so beautifully,
really?
and then
what
he'll bomb
other
people
time
at night.
has he done
We don't
that?
like that. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Ah, yes, Putin, the person infamous for keeping true to their
Trump
word.
turning on Putin, claiming he's had enough of him and his
Good job,
antics.
retard.
This administration took a much different stance than the Biden administration, in particular its efforts to end the war. And so the Trump administration's first and foremost priority was ending the war diplomatically, and that meant speaking to both the Ukrainians and the Russians. So they restarted diplomatic overtures towards the Russians that had largely gone cold under the Biden administration.
Welcome to Reporter's Notebook, where we talk to the Washington Examiner's top journalists about the stories breaking on their beats. I'm Jim Antle. I'm joined today by defense reporter Mike Bress. And Mike, there's been a sort of back and forth, a little bit of controversy over a temporary pause in some munitions that were being sent to Ukraine on the grounds that American stockpiles are depleted. There's some dispute as to whether they really were that depleted. What's sort of the current state of play there?
So what happened was last week, the Pentagon paused some of its aid shipments, specifically defensive weapons, to Ukraine. And so the department said this was a part of a broader review of where U.S. stockpiles of key munitions are at. And so the White House initially said that this was done following the review, and it was done in alignment with the president's America First agenda. And then we started hearing more and more, and a couple of days passed. The president spoke with both Ukrainian President Zelensky as well as Vladimir Putin, and he was, by all accounts, including his own admissions, very frustrated with Vladimir Putin.
I wonder why.
Felt like the conversations that he was having with Putin were going nowhere. And so in the aftermath of those conversations, the president announced he would restart that paused Ukrainian aid. And so the aid is a big deal because it's largely air defense. And so air defense has been key for Ukraine because Russia has fired, at this point, countless numbers of ballistic missiles and cruise missiles at Ukrainian targets, oftentimes in densely populated cities. And so Ukraine, from their perspective, can't have enough of these air defenses because they're being attacked on a daily basis, almost a nightly basis at this point, especially over the last couple of weeks. And so had the pause in this aid gone on much longer, we would have started to see the realities play out on the battlefield when Ukraine runs out of the stockpiles that it had. Now the president has said he is restarting a lot of this aid, and so from public reporting, it seems like a lot of the aid that had been paused was already in Poland or in other places in Europe. So getting it to the Ukrainians, in theory and in practice, doesn't take that long from where it already was. And so this is aid that had already been approved by Congress under the Biden administration. And so it's unclear now.
Oh yeah, I forgot they had aid that was already designated to it. They had it allocated from their fucking budget, and they were it was like a congressional approval basis in which they had to like send the aid to Ukraine, but they fucking just refused to. I guess you can do that. I guess
there will be additional aid pursued by Congress and authorized by the Trump administration, but at least at this point, the aid that has
probably not, because the only fucking thing on the budget that they care to actually remove are things that are beneficial to the American people or allies of the American people. So they're probably not going to be okay with like congressionally approving more aid. So thanks.
Its way to the Ukrainians.
Well, it does sound like the Trump administration is considering aid of its own separate to what had been authorized under Biden. But in any event, it's clear that things have sort of shifted in that, Trump originally was pressuring Zelensky and seemed to view him as the primary obstacle to a peace deal,
which is
now
retarded.
He's much more focused on Putin.
That's exactly right. This administration took a much different stance than the Biden administration, in particular its efforts to end the war. And so the Trump administration's first and foremost priority was ending the war diplomatically, and that meant speaking to both the Ukrainians and the Russians. So they restarted diplomatic overtures towards the Russians that had largely gone cold under the Biden administration.
Is it really going cold under the Biden administration if you're, which of course it's not diplomatic, I guess, to fucking sanction Russia or to aid Ukraine in giving it like weapons and munitions to fight against Russia, but they're literally the invading territory that is trying to encroach on someone else's sovereign territory in order to capture land that is not theirs. So at what point do diplomatic talks need to be done? And I mean like real diplomatic talks, not ones that Trump thinks that he can do or maybe just lie about like wanting to do or needing to do about solving the war on day one. Because the only thing that he did was fucking talk to Putin over and over. Got false promises from Putin because he's such a dumb fucking like he has no concept of like anything whatsoever. So he gets led on by Putin because that's who he wants to like suck off next. And he gets misled, gets angry at Putin for being misled, and he also shits on Zelensky for, I guess, Zelensky clarifying like a factual disagreement while in person. So then he shits on Zelensky and then threatens him and then tries to extort him with the minerals deal. Like at what point is there like any actual diplomatic means that are being like approached from this administration that this guy is like sort of like either hinting at or directly stating? Like there is no genuine attempt. So to call it a diplomatic approach is just bullshit on its face. So it's just so fucking stupid. The standard is retarded.
And trying to defend their
But
territory. And so the shift in priorities from the United States manifestly changed the dynamics on the battlefield because the U.S. was no longer in complete alignment with its European allies or with the Ukrainians.
I wonder
And
why.
so over the
Actually,
last
I
6
wonder
months of
why.
the Trump administration, the president has really found a limit to his personal abilities to make the deals that he's looking for. The Russians continue to maintain positions that they aren't able to achieve on the battlefield. They maintain positions that both the Ukrainians and even the Trump administration have said are unacceptable. And so we're talking about things like the Ukrainians with, essentially neutering its military,
demilitarizing,
giving up the Russian-occupied territory, both that it currently possesses, but also areas that it is trying to gain hold of. And so with the Russians continuing to pursue such maximalist goals militarily and diplomatically, the United States and President Trump is recalculating and recalibrating how he's approaching both President Zelensky and President Putin.
So on another front where the Trump administration has been negotiating, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu was in town this week.
Negotiating?
Proposing that maybe President Trump should get the Nobel Peace Prize. What's the status of some of those talks in terms of Israel and Iran, where there's been the ceasefire, but also the efforts to sort of wind things down in Gaza?
So that's exactly right. There are two, I would say, parallel deals that the President and Prime Minister Netanyahu are pursuing. And so the first deal is a deal to secure the release of the roughly 50 hostages that Hamas still holds, and to create some sort of a post-war day after reconstruction plan for Gaza, and simultaneously an Israel-Iran deal that ends there, even though the war has ended and the two sides agreed to a ceasefire, some sort of long-term détente or some sort of path to peace moving forward. And so in that broader U.S.-Iran deal, in the past, the framework of that deal has often reflected Israeli-Saudi normalization and the building out of the Abraham Accords from President Trump's first term.
Thank you, Mike. You can read Mike and the rest of our national security team's coverage at WashingtonExaminer.com.
And welcome back here to Live Now from Fox. I'm Andrew Kraft. Thanks for being with us here on your Friday night. Hope
you're so loud. Chill, please. I want stuff that's happened today.
Trump turning on Putin, claiming he's...
Stop.
Today in
Wait, what was that?
All of this coming as a fatwa, or religious decree from Iranian officials, is calling for the assassination of President Trump and they claim to have created an online fund worth an estimated $40 million. Max Lesser is senior analyst for emerging threats at the Foundation for Defense of Democracies. He's been looking into all of this and does join us now live to discuss it a little bit further. First off, Max, thank you so much for being here with us. Can you kind of explain the situation here overall as a whole, what we're being told, and maybe what we don't know just yet?
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, Josh. So there have been a lot of threats issued recently by members of the Iranian government, Shiite clerics, against Trump or just against Americans more broadly. And what I would say is that Iran has been trying to assassinate President Trump for years. And now it's all out in the open. And what I've been looking at with my team at FDD is a particular website that is seeking or allegedly claiming to crowdfund a bounty for Donald Trump's assassination, saying, look, if you carry out this deed, we will compensate you with this money. They claim to have raised millions and millions of dollars. The most recent figure was over $40 million. We have no idea if this is a legitimate number or not, but it's a clear effort to try to mobilize and motivate any sympathetic audience to carry out an act of violence against President Trump.
What first brought the site there to your attention? And I'll be honest, I can't really pronounce the name of it. I don't know if you can, but what made it kind of stand out to you as a potential threat?
Yeah, so the website actually takes its name for the Arabic word for revenge. And a lot of time what I have my team do, we monitor for malicious Iranian activity. And a lot of times what that looks like, to be quite honest, is just doom scrolling. People are probably familiar with that term, just doom scrolling on social media, scrolling and searching and looking for these little needles in the haystack. And so one of my remarkable interns actually came across this website and flagged it to me very early on, back on July 8th. And what I immediately wanted to do, we saw that it was clearly an Iranian website. It had a .ir domain name, which shows that it was created in Iran. And what we wanted to do was to go in and actually see, well, who actually created this website? Was this potentially an Iranian government effort? Was this just a vigilante effort? And when we looked at it, we actually uncovered the identity of a man who was involved in the creation of the website, which I'm happy to chat more about. And that man actually has historical ties to the Iranian state broadcasting group. So we actually were able to identify the man, one of the men behind this website, and reveal his identity.
I do want to talk more about that, of course. So tell me what you learned about this guy.
Yeah, so the man, again, as I mentioned before, he previously, or at one point, worked for the Iranian state broadcaster. So that's a clear tie to an Iranian government organization. And he seems to have created this website. It's unclear if he's acting alone or with others, but he's creating this hashtag. And what I would say about this website is it's sort of, I would call it an influence operation, because what it really seeks to try to do is try to influence people, to mobilize people, to carry out acts of violence. And on the website, he actually references those fatwas that you mentioned earlier to lend religious authority to this effort. And it is quite concerning. And what we...
Okay.
Texas Hill Country reels from devastating flash floods with over 100 dead, including 36 children and more still missing.
I just had a gut feeling that something bad was about to happen.
Why was there no updated flood warning system? And did the Trump administration respond fast enough?
Who's to blame? Know this. That's the word choice of losers.
It's easy to sit back and say, oh, what could have happened here, there, maybe we could have done something differently. This was a thing that
like you do in every situation.
Plus, immigration enforcement. A federal judge blocks ICE officers in California from making arrests solely based on race and language.
If ICE officers are racist for enforcing the law, what's that make members of Congress? They wrote the damn law.
While Democratic lawmakers visit the so-called Alligator Alcatraz Migrant Detention Center in Florida.
There are really disturbing viral conditions. This place needs to be shut
the hell down.
I'll speak to Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem. And deals or no deals? President Trump ramps up his trade war yet again.
August 1st, they pay. And everybody pays.
Threatening steeper tariffs on nearly all U.S. trading partners.
90 deals in 90 days. Well, by my count, he's about 88 trade deals short.
My guest this morning, Republican Senator John Barrasso of Wyoming and Democratic Governor Andy Beshear of Kentucky. Joining me for insight and analysis
Mike
are
King.
NBC News senior national political reporter Sahil Kapoor, Adrian Elrod, former senior advisor to the Harris campaign, Mark Short, former legislative affairs director for President Trump, and New York Times White House correspondent Tyler Pager. Welcome to Sunday. It's Meet the Press.
From NBC News in Washington, the longest-running show in television history, this is Meet the Press with Kristen Welker.
Good Sunday morning. President Trump sent the global economy into uncertainty again this week with threats to further escalate his trade war, telling me in a wide-ranging phone interview he plans to impose blanket 15 to 20% tariffs on nearly all U.S. trading partners. After we spoke, announcing 35% tariffs on Canada and 30% tariffs on both Mexico and the European Union, some of the largest trading partners to the United States.
We've been taken advantage of for many, many years by countries, both friend and foe. And frankly, the friends have been worse than the foes in many cases.
He makes these promises left and right. He doesn't care whether he executes them or not, but the American people
True.
do.
Fuck
Remember,
you, Chuck.
90 deals
Retard.
in 90 days. Well, by my count, he's about 88 trade deals short.
I blame you.
And on immigration, the Trump administration continues to ramp up its deportation enforcement with ICE raids across Southern California. A judge ruling that immigration officers there can't solely stop and detain someone based on their race or what language they're speaking, among other factors. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem sharply critical of the judge who made the decision.
Critical of any judge.
We have all the right in the world to go out on the streets and to uphold the
And
law and to do what we're going to do. So none of our operations are going to change.
If ICE officers are racist for enforcing the law, what's that make members of Congress? They wrote the damn law.
While Democratic lawmakers raised the alarm after visiting the so-called Alligator Alcatraz Migrant Detention Center in Florida.
There are really disturbing viral conditions, and this place needs to be shut the hell down.
What we saw in there is very simple. We saw humans being held in cages.
Those are claims Florida Republicans deny. But we begin this morning with the devastation in Texas, where the death toll
Weren't
from
they
those
proud
powerful
of
flash
showing them
floods
in
has risen to
cages?
121,
Why do they deny it?
including 36 children, with 166 people still missing.
My husband started panicking because there was no way for us to get out. There was no way for us to get up. And so he tried to bust out the window.
I just remember having to get evacuated and the water kept rising.
I feel like I was losing my grip. So all I was thinking was what if I let go and I just go with the current? So I was really scared.
In our phone interview, President Trump telling me he thinks it would make sense to put alarms up to alert residents of flooding in the future, and praising the work of first responders and his Homeland Security Secretary amid questions about her handling of the response and whether more could have been done more quickly. The president visiting the disaster zone on Friday.
I've never seen anything like it. I've seen a lot of bad ones. I've gone to a lot of hurricanes, a lot of tornadoes. I've never seen anything like this. This is a bad one. A little narrow river that becomes a monster, and that's what happened.
And joining me now is Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem. Secretary Noem, welcome back to Meet the Press.
Thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me today.
Thank you for being here after a remarkably busy week. I did have an opportunity to speak with President Trump by phone. He did praise your response to the floods in Texas.
Okay. Praise her response, in which it was like a 72-hour delay in that response from when the flood was happening to when they actually got shit out. That's worthy of praise.
There are obviously a lot of questions, though, so I want to talk to you about some of those, including about a rule that you recently implemented. It reportedly requires that every FEMA contract, every grant over $100,000 be personally approved by you. Now, officials within the agency have told multiple news outlets that the policy led to a slower deployment of some FEMA resources, including urban search and rescue crews. So let me just ask you, did your policy delay some of the critical response resources on the ground in Texas?
Those claims are absolutely false. Within just an hour or two after the flooding, we had resources from the Department of Homeland Security there helping those individuals in Texas. It was a heartbreaking scene, and I think
Resources generally? Resources broadly? Or do you mean the resources that had to be specifically designated and approved by you prior to initializing them on the ground? Like, what do you specify?
it's been well covered about what the Coast Guard did, how they were deployed immediately and helped rescue so many individuals from those floodwaters. And we had Border Patrol down there with their tactical teams, and FEMA was there just within a few hours as well.
Yeah.
So those claims are false. They're from people who won't put their name behind those claims. And those call centers were fully staffed and responsive. And this is the fastest, I believe, in years, maybe decades, that FEMA has been deployed to help individuals in this type of a situation.
Well, let's drill down a little bit. I know there were resources that were deployed, but I think the question revolves around, were all of the necessary resources deployed? According to reports, multiple FEMA officials said you didn't approve the deployment of these FEMA search and rescue teams until Monday, which was 72 hours after the flood started.
Nope, they were deployed immediately as soon as they were requested. And I think what matters the most here is what the local officials on the ground say and what their feedback is. You know, I was there that very morning.
The same local officials there talking about the National Weather Service implementation of the sirens, or like which ones are we doing? Like a selective sort of choosing of which locals to listen to, or
And that afternoon, that when the flooding was happening, and was with those emergency responders right away, with the governor, with Nim Kidd, who's running the state's response, and every one of them will tell you that they got everything that they needed when they asked for it immediately, and that they've never seen a federal government respond in support of a state's management of a disaster situation like this. So those claims, I don't know who's making them out of FEMA, and because FEMA has been incredibly responsive, we've had over 700 different employees engaged right in Texas, and as soon as that disaster request was put in, forwarded to the White House and approved within hours.
Well, when was the request put in, and when did you approve it? And is this accurate that there's this $100,000 sign-off that you have to do?
The $100,000 sign-off is for every contract that goes through the Department of Homeland Security.
So you did implement
that's
that
an
policy.
It's an accountability on contracts that go forward, but there was no breaking contracts. Those contracts were approved as soon as they were in front of me, and FEMA knew they were fully to deploy the instant that the local officials asked for the request.
When did you get the request for these search and rescue teams and other resources?
Immediately responded.
What day?
And everyone will tell you.
According to reports, they didn't arrive
and the
until
governor will say, well, this is what I think is really unfortunate, is that we have a situation where so many individuals are playing politics with what happened to Texas, and the governor and the emergency.
Like, Trump applies politics to North Carolina whenever they're requesting FEMA aid from their hurricanes, and then you have to, like, threaten to withhold it, or actually withhold it so you can designate the funds from FEMA to the border. Like, do you mean playing politics like that, or do you mean, like, playing politics with, like, the LA wildfires in California? Like, when is it okay to play politics versus when is it not okay to play politics?
Responders on the ground, the mayor of that city, the judge in that county who has some authority over emergency response, every one of them said, as soon as we asked for help, they were here. The federal government was here. And we didn't just deploy FEMA. We deployed our Coast Guard and BORTAC teams. Border Patrol was amazing. Every single agency that we had was there helping as many individuals as we possibly could. And that's what I think is remarkable. It's a very different response, I think, from the federal government we've ever seen in a disaster like this, because we had so many different agencies immediately respond, and that's the way that it should be.
I do want to talk big picture in just a moment, but the New York Times is reporting that thousands of calls from flood victims to FEMA call centers went unanswered in the middle of this ongoing disaster because you didn't renew contracts to keep call center staff in place until nearly 1 week after the floods. Why did it take so long to extend those contracts?
It's just false. Those contracts were in place.
It didn't take 5 days?
No employees were off of work. Every one of them was answering calls. So false reporting, fake news, and it's discouraging. It's discouraging that during this time when we have such a loss of life and so many people's lives are turned upside down, people are playing politics with this, because the response time was immediate. And if you talk to anyone in Texas that was there, that was a part of this operation, they would say the federal government and President Trump immediately responded.
Just to be very clear, on July 7th, 15.9% of calls were answered. I mean, does that concern you?
Does that sound like 100 of them, or like a
desperate state?
Like
100%? Often the first call that they make, only 15% were answered on July 7th, several days after the floods.
These contracts were in place, and those people were in those call centers, and they were picking up the phone and answering these calls from these individuals. So that report needs to be validified. I'm not certain it's accurate, and I'm not sure where it came from. And the individuals who are giving you information out of FEMA, I'd love to have them put their names behind it, because the anonymous attacks to politicize the situation is completely wrong. I care. These emergencies need to be conducted exactly how President Trump handled this one. It was that the local responders are the ones who execute the response. The state comes in and manages it, and then the federal government comes in and supports it. And as soon as Texas asked for anything, we were there.
Just very quickly, I mean, disasters often cost millions, if not billions of dollars. You've acknowledged there is this policy you implemented to sign off on contracts that exceed $100,000. Why add extra red tape when there is a crisis of this
bureaucracy.
It's not extra red tape. It's making sure everything is getting to my level and that it's immediately responded to. This was not slowing down at all. In fact, it was much more responsive. If you remember, I was there. I was standing right there long before this report ever came out, and people were asking, and we were granting permission in real time. So the false reporting has been something that is inappropriate, and it's something that I think we need to clear up, and that this response was by far the best response we've seen out of FEMA, the best response we've seen out of the federal government in many, many years, and certainly much better than what we saw under Joe Biden.
2 more quick ones on FEMA, then we need to get to...
I was honestly doubtful of, like, listening to her say that, but then I remember that when FEMA tried to help under Biden's administration, they made up this lie about how Biden was going to take over their land if they were to accept the FEMA aid. And I was like, actually, no, that kind of makes sense. There's probably a lot of dipshit MAGA voters in North Carolina that believe that stupid bullshit. So I can believe that's probably like the best response that was granted, potentially.
Deportation. Senator Elizabeth Warren is calling for you to resign. Your response. Is there any chance you would resign?
No, there's not. And I hadn't heard that, but, I don't care what she thinks.
Very quickly, we have heard President Trump, we have heard you say that ultimately FEMA needs to be eradicated. We heard the tone shift a bit this week. Bottom line, Madam Secretary, will the president move to eradicate FEMA altogether?
No, I think the president recognizes that FEMA should not exist the way that it always has been. It needs to be redeployed in a new way, and that's what we did during this response.